get started, okay? So join me in a seated position. We're going to begin with a few seated exercises here to warm up. So we're going to start with seated cat-cow. So you're in a seated position that's comfortable for you. And you can actually do all of these seated on your couch or a chair as well. And once you've found the position that works for you, hands on your knees, sit up as tall as you can. And on your next inhale, gently pull your chest forward and up towards the sky. On your exhale, tuck back, belly button to your spine. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, tuck back. Keep moving like that at your own pace. This one is awesome not only to warm up your breathing and your abs, but it's also great for your spine. And a really good one to do here, opening up in your chest if you've been hunching forward over your computer all morning. Inhale up. Exhale, tuck back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Sit up as tall as you can. Hinge forward slightly. We're going to do a Pilates upper body exercise called shaving the head. Another great one to open up in your chest and counteract that hunching forward. So bring your pointer fingers and your thumbs together. On your next inhale, come straight down, just like you're shaving the back of your head. Exhale, extend up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Now as you go up and down with your breath here, see if you can keep your elbows wide out of your peripheral vision, excuse me. That is, like I said before, not only going to open up your chest, but you're also then going to get some blood flow sent to your upper back and strengthen the muscles in your upper back. The stronger our muscles are in the upper back, the better our posture will be, the less hunching forward will be, and the less pain will be in our neck, shoulders, and jaw area. You can take a break whenever you want. If you can, try 2 more. Keep breathing. Very nice. Then drop your arms down, a couple big shoulder rolls. Switch the crossing of your legs if you're seated in a cross-legged position like me, just to even your sides out. We've got one more seated exercise here before we make our way down to the mat, and it's going to be a seated twist. We're going to move a little bit with our breath here. So on your next exhale, long slow exhale, I want you to bring your right arm into a half bind, left hand to the outside of your knee. Inhale, sit up as tall as you can. Exhale, switch. Left arm into a half bind and right hand to the outside of your knee. Now I'm going to turn to my back just in case you don't know what a half bind is. We're going to keep moving like this. Inhale, sit up tall in your twist, and then exhale, switch. Half bind. Inhale, sit up as tall as you can here. Long, slow exhale, twist. You can move with the rhythm of your own breath, so if you're going faster or slower than me, that's just fine. Now, whenever we twist, we always want to initiate that twist from our shoulder. So with this one, top of your shoulder drops, shoulder blade pulls towards your spine. Let's do 2 more sets. Exhale, switch. Sit up as tall as you can. So once again, we're training our posture, gently toning our abs, warming up our breathing, and we're also doing something great for our spine. Now the next time your left hand is on your right knee, stay there for a couple breaths. If it feels okay to look over your right shoulder, do that. If that doesn't feel okay, that's too intense, you don't have to do that. One more breath here, twisting to the right. Then belly button to your spine, switch sides, hold. Twisting is an awesome way to get some blood flow to your internal organs. So it's going to help with things like digestion and detox. Hold here for one more breath, gently pulling your shoulder towards your spine. Then come back to center once you finish that breath. Couple big shoulder rolls. I'll turn and face you once again. Hello there. And then we're gonna make our way down to the mat, lying on your side. We're gonna do the Pilates Fetal Thigh Series here. So as you come down, bend your knees so you're protecting your back. And then once you get down to this position, you can use your arm as a pillow. So I'm just resting my ear on my bicep. My hip, shoulder, and elbow are all lined up with the back of my mat. Knees come forward, so you're in a fetal-like position on the ground. And then feet come forward just so you can see them. This hand can hang out here, or for a bigger challenge, you can rest it heavy on top of your leg. We're gonna start with some double taps here. So on your next inhale, you're gonna lightly tap twice and come up. Inhale, inhale, big exhale. Tap, tap, up. Tap, tap, up. Keep moving like that. Couple things to mention with this one. You want to make sure your ankle, knee, and hip all stay in one line. So the visual I like to use for this one to help make that happen is I think about a glass of water resting on my knee, and I don't want that glass to spill. Good. Light controlled taps, controlled lift. Inhale, inhale, exhale up. Belly button's gently pulling towards your spine. If you need a break at any point, just take it. No big deal. If you can, hang on for 3 more sets. Up. Inhale, inhale, exhale, up. Last one. If possible, hold your leg up. If that's not possible, take a break, no big deal. And extend and bend. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You can gently flex your toes here to make the engagement a bit stronger. Good. We've got a few more of these. Shoulder away from your ear. 3, 2, nicely done. Hold your leg up hip height or take a break if you need it. Either way. One more breath. And then we're going to move into an exercise in the series called the clam. So once you finish that last breath, bring your feet together. With this one, you're going to try to keep your feet glued and then lift your knee. So we're going to lift on an exhale, so I'll cue with the breathing here. Inhale down, exhale lift. Hold and squeeze. Inhale down, exhale lift. As you can probably feel with the clam and with this entire series, we're really isolating right here. Now with the clam, your goal is to lift your knee as high as you can without your hips rolling back. So what your hips are going to want to do to even out your body is something like this. Your top hip rolls back. Instead of letting that happen, your number one goal is to keep your hips stacked and then see how high you can lift. 3 more. You got this. 2. Big exhale. Last one. Beautiful. Rest for a second. And then we have one final exercise on this side with the series. It's kind of a goofy one, but it really isolates. It's a 4-part exercise. So you're going to start by lifting your top foot up. I like to point my toes, but if they're cramping at all, you can also flex them. Then pretend like there's a string right here at your knee. You're going to lift this whole unit up. Once your knee is lifted, extend, come back, and down. So lift up, extend, back, down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple more like this. So the key with this one is you lift your knee before you extend your leg. That's what's really going to isolate. What you don't want to do is just this, where you kind of make it all one movement. This lifting up, then extending is where you're getting the really great toning and strengthening work. 2 more sets. Give it all you got. Lift, extend, come back, and down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nicely done. If you need to give yourself a little massage here, feel free. Eventually, make your way onto your stomach. We're gonna do swimming, a lower back exercise before we switch sides. So stack your hands, rest your forehead down. Just take a breather here. To prep for swimming, bring your feet hip width apart. Then extend your arms out shoulder width apart. Take an inhale to prep. And then exhale, lift your right arm, left leg. Inhale, lower with control. Exhale, left arm, right leg lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep moving like that. At your own pace with your breath. Belly button pulls up. So as we focus on strengthening our lower back here, we keep our abdominal muscles engaged to protect our lower back. Exhale, lift, lengthen, inhale, lower. Nice. The higher you lift, the bigger the challenge, I guess. 2 more sets. Move with your breath, exhale up, controlled, drop down, exhale up. Last set, make it your best one yet. And once you finish, once again, stack your hands, forehead down. You can either hang out here, or if child's pose works on your knees, meaning it doesn't hurt your knees, and you can push your hips back to child's pose. Big toes are touching, knees are wide. Forehead is either touching the ground, or you can stack your fists and bring your forehead to your fists. Take a deep breath. One more, full breath, resting. Then roll up on your next inhale. We, of course, have to switch sides, whether we like it or not. So, do that now. Bend both knees as you come down. Get yourself all squared up and lined up here. Elbow, shoulder, hip with the back of your mat. Use your arm as a pillow. Knees come in. Feet come out just so you can see them. We'll get started right away with the double tap. So hand here or here. Then when you're ready, tap, tap, and up. Inhale, inhale, exhale, up. So once again, our goal is light, crisp taps and a controlled lift. You have that glass of water, imaginary one of course, on your knee. Belly button is gently pulling towards your spine. Shoulder and face are relaxed. Now the cool thing about this series is the movements are really not very big, as you've noticed. But because of the position we're in, they really isolate. So even though we're not doing big movements, we're still getting a ton of really high quality toning and strengthening work in. But the benefit of not having huge movements is then we don't get super sweaty. So this Fetal Thigh Series is definitely one I do. You got one more here. Hold your leg up if you can. And then extend and bend. This is definitely what I do when, again, I want to get a high quality workout in, but I don't want to sweat a bunch. Nicely done. Now you take a break with this series whenever you need it, just by dropping your leg, resting, breathing. Realize if you're able to keep your form, you got one more, hold or rest. If you're able to keep your form with any of these, but you're feeling shaking or uncomfortable, see what happens if you just keep going. If your form gets goofy though, always, always, always take a break. All right, but leg down if it isn't already. Pretend like your feet are glued together. We have the clam next. So you're gonna inhale to prep. Exhale, lift your top knee, hold. Inhale down. exhale, lift. Nice. So remember, the key with the clam is to not let your top hip roll back. Instead, our number one priority is to keep our top hip stacked, and then with that in place, see how high we can lift our knee. And then of course, see if you can just hold it for a second at the top and come down. So you're really making the most out of the climb. You've got 3 more. Exhale up and down. 2. Final 1, make it good. Nicely done. Rest if you need it. And we've got our final exercise, that 4-part series. So you're gonna lift your top foot, point your toes if that feels okay. Pretend like you have a string right here at the side of your knee. Inhale, lift this whole unit straight up. Then once it's lifted, exhale, extend. Inhale, come back. Exhale, down. Lift your knee, then extend, come back, and down. Nice. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nice. Now focusing on your breath is not only great to enhance the benefits of what you get with your exercises here, but especially midday, if you're doing this, in the middle of your day, you have really a bunch of stuff going on, focusing on your breath can just calm your mind, recenter and focus you. We've got 1 more. Up, back, and down. Nicely done. Now if you're in a big time crunch, we've evened ourselves out, so feel free to stop the video if you have to go back to work. No worries. Otherwise, we are going to sneak in an ab strengthening exercise and then a final stretch here. So if you have time for that, roll to your back. Excuse me. Feet are planted. Find imprinted pelvis. So that means if you had a bowl of water resting on your pelvis, you're going to pretend to spill it towards your chest. Hold there. Your lower back is grounded. Hands are by your hips. Pull your shoulders down towards your hips. Then pull your knees into your chest. Gently flex your toes. Take an inhale to prep. Then on your exhale, push out into a tabletop position. Inhale, come back. Exhale, push out. So the more your knees go out, the harder it's going to be to keep your lower back on the ground, which is our goal. One day, someday, you're wanting to get to a point where your knees are right over your hips, shins parallel to the ground. That's our ultimate goal with tabletop. But maybe if you just need to hang out here today and then come back, that's totally fine. If you need a bigger challenge, hold out. Don't come back in. So regardless of whether you're moving or holding, regardless of how far your knees are out, our goal is all the same, and that goal is to keep your lower back on the ground and to keep your belly button pulling towards your spine. If your lower back pops up or your belly button pops up, you want to take a break or come back, okay? Now, if you are holding and you want an even bigger challenge, you can add a little movement. On an exhale, you bring your arms back and you drop your heels down. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, drop. The more you drop your heels, the harder it is to stabilize. So maybe one day, someday, you do tap your heels on the ground, or maybe today you just drop a few inches and come back to tabletop. So as you can see, you've got a lot of options with this one. Do what you can for about 10 more seconds, and then we'll finish up with a little stretch. Belly button to your spine. Pretend like you're zipping up. 3, 2, and rest. Nicely done. You can pull your knees into your chest if you'd like. Wiggle your toes. And then eventually drop your feet down and bring your left ankle to your right thigh. Let's move into modified pigeon. Final stretch here, final exercise in this little workout. So gently push your knee away. Maybe this is where you stay today. If you're getting a big enough stretch, then just hang out here. If you'd like a bigger stretch, pull this whole unit closer to your chest and either wrap your hands around your thigh, or for an even more intense stretch, wrap your hands around the top of your shin. Gently flex both sets of toes. And then really start to focus on your breathing. So make your only priority to be to pay attention to your inhales and your exhales. And as you exhale, think about melting into the mat. So any tension you may be holding in your shoulders, neck, or jaw, do your best to let it go. One more full breath here. And then of course we're going to switch sides. So both feet are planted. From this position, bring your left ankle to your right thigh. Gently press your knee away. Stay here if you're getting what you need. For more intensity, bring your legs closer to your thigh, or to your chest, and then wrap your hands around your thigh, or for more intensity, around the top of your shin. Deep breaths. Now you might notice that with this stretch, your hips could be a little tighter than what you're expecting, and that's likely because of the Fetal Thigh Series we did, so don't be too alarmed if that's the case. And remember, when we do hip stretches in yoga, it's not uncommon for them to be uncomfortable. In fact, if you get to a place of a little discomfort, you're really doing it right. That's what we want, a little bit of discomfort, not pain, but a little bit of discomfort in a hip opening posture is going to provide a lot more comfort later once you're done with your workout and off your mat. So with that said, if you can hang out here for 2 more breaths, make that your goal. And then whenever you've finished your 2 breaths, plant your feet wide, let your knees tent in for a second. Maybe you even place your hands on your belly and take a few belly breaths. Notice if you feel just a little bit different than when you started, if you're a little bit of relief, a little bit of stress relief, a little more clarity or focus. One more deep breath. And then to move out of this position, roll to your side. Make sure both knees are bent to protect your lower back. Push yourself up. Couple big shoulder rolls, sit up tall. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Keep this little workout in mind for, again, days when either you want to get some toning and stretching in, but you don't want to get sweaty, and or you have really stressful things going on at work and you just need some time and space to recenter.